with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's a local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Feels more like summer than it does like spring, doesn't it, ladies and gentlemen? It's the 28th day of April 2025, 6 o'clock straight up, which means it is time for an all new and live Real Talk Memphis. Welcome. Glad to have you with us this evening. I am your humble host. My name is Chip Washington. Great to be here as well. We are going to have a really good show for you this evening. So, get comfortable, get relaxed. If you get some food, get all that laid out for yourself and find us wherever you can find us. We're on a few places around here. You're always asking me, where can I get this fine piece of radio broadcasting? Well, I'm glad you asked. We are on 91.7 FM. That would be WYXR live right now. You can also find us on the WYXR app. We are on the TuneIn app as well. We will be live streaming tonight on Facebook Live. And when the show posts in the next day or two, you can find us on YouTube as well as, we're a podcast. Did you know we're a podcast? We actually are a podcast. And you can find us once the show posts in the next couple of days, wherever it is you get your podcast. So there you go. Plenty of ways to find us this evening. And if you missed the show, and first of all, if you missed the show, shame on you. But if you do miss the show, we do have options on the back end for you to be able to check it out. In terms of our guest this evening, we have, and we're very fortunate to have, Dr. Marie Feagins. She is actually joining me in studio this evening, and we're going to be talking about a special event that she's going to be part of, a conversation, if you will, that will happen on Wednesday evening. It is called Take a Seat. And it is basically leading in high-stakes roles and what it costs to stay in that role and in that seat. And, of course, she's going to be talking a little bit about that and really what she's going to say to folks who find themselves in those positions and, more importantly, how to handle them. And we'll have her join me in just a few minutes. A little bit later on, we're going to have Memphis and Shelby County School Board member Michelle McKissack joining me. And a little bit after that, in the second half hour, State Representative Torrey Harris will check in. The legislative season just ended. And we saw a lot there, and I wanted to catch up with him to find out how he thinks things went and a couple of initiatives that he helped to sponsor and launch as well. So there you go. That's the rundown of the big broadcast of this evening. As I said before, sit back, relax, get comfortable because, we're going to do it here in just a few minutes. But before we do any of that, for all of you who are still here and you made that next trip around the sun or the latest trip around the sun, aka your birthday, you know what we do. We always celebrate that. And when we celebrate that, we celebrate you. And we do that by way of the shout out. So we have a few birthdays we'd like to call out this evening, but I can't do that until I say, hit it, Bren. All right, this is very few. I don't know if Lola's got one. Lola, you got one today? Okay, Lola does not have a birthday to shout out today, but I will do my best. Happy birthday to Henry Reeves III. He's the attorney. Happy birthday to you. Laterica Robertson celebrating her birthday today. And Archie Sanders is celebrating his birthday today. So to each and every one of you out there, congratulations on your latest trip around the sun, and from all of us here at Real Talk Memphis. And we hope to be with you next year when you celebrate your next trip around the sun. Happy birthday to each and every one of you. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Thanks, Brent. Let's take a quick look at some news and notes this evening. Of course, this was the first day of the Tyree Nichols state trial. That began, it's been about 2 years since that tragic incident happened. Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith all pled not guilty to second-degree murder in this case. The other two officers that were involved got plea deals, and they will probably be testifying against these three officers. Rovon Wells, the mother of Tyree Nichols, actually took the stand late this afternoon. And, of course, you can just imagine how difficult, painful that was for a mother recapping seeing her son in the hospital and his eventual death. So we will keep a track on this. We hear that the trial could take anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks. Many of us woke up this morning to a big shock in this community, and that was the early morning fire about 1:30 a.m. of historic Claiborne Temple. As I said, it happened about 1:30 this morning. That facility, that library, that is a piece of American history, the epicenter of the civil rights movement in this city. And, of course, the place where Martin Luther King came. A lot of the sanitation workers gathered, a lot of the civil rights workers gathered to strategize and to plan out and to, more importantly, bring to light some of the injustices that were happening in and around our community during that time. According to fire officials, it looks to be a total loss. I just passed that place literally over the weekend, two days ago, being downtown, and to see it today, because I work not too far from down there, so I passed it a couple of times, and you could see that the fire folks, even this morning, late this morning, were still putting out hot spots and things like that. A lot of people are very broken about this because there are many people generationally who are from Memphis, who lived here or were here and active during the civil rights movement, especially when Dr. King came down here to march for the rights of the sanitation workers. So it's a very, very, very emotional day for many, many, many people who not only attended that church. It was in the middle of a renovation as well, a $6 million renovation that was part of all of that. And I don't know what is going to happen as we move past the future, but that is absolutely one of the most storied churches in this country, and especially as you speak to civil rights. So we are very, very sad to hear and see that. You remember about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, there was a shooting over just outside of Booker T. Washington High School where two young men were killed. Well, the Memphis Police Department has announced one arrest. Apparently there were supposedly 4 suspects involved in this. But an 18-year-old suspect has been arrested and has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the shooting deaths of those 2 students from Booker T. Washington High School. There were students at that school. This 18-year-old, his name is Valdemar Patterson. He was in court this morning. Police say they are looking for at least one other suspect. And late this afternoon, we heard that Oak Court Mall is going to be demolished. Now, we know that the Macy's store had been closed since January, and the mall is pretty much closed too, or going to be closing as well. And they said sometime maybe either later this year or for sure next year. We don't know who or what is going to occupy that space. Oak Court Mall has been around here for a while, hasn't it? It's been around here for some time. So, yeah, but it's gone now. So another franchise, another mall gone. And, yeah, speaking of gone, our Memphis Grizzlies are all on vacation now. They got swept in their first-round series against the Oklahoma City Thunder, 4-0. So now the question remains, is the big three, the core of the big three there, Ja and Triple J, and Desmond Bain, are they still going to be a part of all of this? What about the coach? They have an interim coach. Who's going to be the next coach? So a lot of questions need to be answered in reference to all of this. So that is a quick look at news and notes. And we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, my first guest is ready to go. She is Dr. Marie Feagins, and she's sitting right across from me right now. We're going to have a conversation about a few things. I see a lot of you online already anticipating that. So sit back, relax, get comfortable. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from the Halloran Center, presenting the Memphis Songwriter Series hosted by Mark Egger Stewart. Mark and his musical guests take audiences on a journey behind the music, sharing personal stories and introducing new works. The series continues Thursday, May 8th with Scott Sudbury, Mallory Everett, and Matt Hill. More information at orpheum-memphis.com/HC-presents.
Support for WYXR comes from Rootstock Wine Merchants. Located at 644 Madison in the Edge District, Rootstock is committed to bringing Memphis wines from small, independent producers with minimal intervention. More information on Rootstock's full selection of wine, beer, and spirits and online ordering available at rootstockmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this beautiful Monday evening in the city. Glad to have you with us. Chip here. And, of course, as I stated at the top of the show, we have a very special guest in studio and someone we hadn't really seen much in the last few months, but it's great to see her and it's great to have her here. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Marie Feagins. And it is so good to see you, my friend. She's been hitting that phone ever since.
Trying to be responsive.
You're always responsive. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
It's good to see you again.
Good to be seen and not viewed.
Absolutely, all the time. And of course, you're going to be involved in a kind of a special event that's happening in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
I would say it would be an empowering type of event for people, I think, to watch and be a part of. It's called Take a Seat. And she is going to be interviewed, Dr. Feagins. Dr. Feagins is going to be interviewed by journalist Brooke Baldwin, and it is a night of, as they say, unfiltered, a night of power on power, leadership, and seats that shape us in the future. And of course, first of all, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you how you have been and how you've been doing, because we haven't seen you in the last few months.
Yeah, I feel like because I've still been moving around, I feel like I have been out, but I know that people haven't seen me the way that they've probably been accustomed to see me. So hello to everyone out there that's watching and tuning in. But I'm doing well. I appreciate you asking. I took, the first about 60 days just to focus on me. As a counselor, I understand what you're supposed to do, so I made sure I did those things. I traveled, just gave some care to me, and I did the thing that makes me nervous a lot, and that's rest.
But you did get some rest, though, right?
I did. Probably fortunately and unfortunately, but yes.
Okay, well, I'm glad for all of those things. And like I said, you look great. It's glad to have you. I'm glad to have you in the studio. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I can say this is an exclusive interview. You've not done one since we've last saw you, right?
I have not done any interviews. I spoke, when I was recognized by the county commission, but I have not given an interview.
Yeah.
So yes, you are first. first. I gave a recorded one earlier today, but this is live.
Yeah, this is live.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to have you. So listen, first and foremost, as an educational leader, and as someone who has sat in that chair of power, leadership, and responsibility, I think that it is important, and I want to talk more about this event in just a couple of minutes, to really have someone who has had the experience of it and has been a part of it to really be able to counsel and speak to certain issues that maybe folks who are looking at where you've been or being in positions of such a power and authority might be as to what they can expect. Because there is a certain level of responsibility in more ways than one that goes to a position of leadership. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the heat of the seat is how I always refer to it.
Okay.
And I can share that it gets hot. And, when it's tight, you're still responsible for doing what's right. Mm-hmm. And so, with the pressure that comes along with it, there's also the privilege of serving in it, right? Like every day I wake up and I still wake up, I get to do this, right? And there's a lot of folks that wasn't on the list this morning. And so every day that I get to wake up and I get the opportunity to do something good in the world, for the world of one or for the world of many is a privilege. And so when we think about leadership, I've sat in the seats, of perceptual power and authority in education. Yeah. I've also sat under the light as a news anchor, a solo news anchor without a degree in journalism. Mm-hmm. I've sat in seats, right, across multiple sectors, and I don't know that many people have that duality or that multifaceted experience. And so, you have to be able to handle the exit as well as you control and handle the entry. You have to be just as grateful and thankful for the opportunity on the way out, whatever that might look like for you, as you were when you received the victory, right? The victories and the valleys. Sure. And so it takes a lot of preparation now to be able to balance. It's a very delicate balance. In this experience, did it suck? Absolutely. Was it tough? Absolutely. Yeah. Am I human? Without a doubt. But do I know better? Yes. And I think that you're responsible for the things that you know. And with thousands of people watching and tuning in, I think that you control what you control, and you can always control you. And so if you are thinking about a seat, whatever it is, you got to go for it. Right.
Don't be afraid to go for it.
No, be afraid, but do it with your knees shaking anyway.
All right. Okay.
Because you will never be prepared, but you have to lead anyway. You will never be fully prepared. Right. You can get all the credentials, the degrees. You can have 25 years of experience. When you hit whatever the seat is, you will still never be fully prepared. Lead anyway. And once you are in leadership, that's where your core values come into play. That's where your purpose comes into play. That's where intentionality and who you are shows up. And so you got to make sure that you prepare yourself along the way so that when you are in the seat, however it goes, you don't lose yourself in it.
I want to talk about a word that I've heard you say, I've heard you use, and when I think about you, I think about this word, and it's integrity. Yeah. Honor and integrity. To be able to demonstrate that on a daily basis. How I guess I want to ask you. How does one go about doing that when you're in situations when things get a little tight, when things get a little hot, when things are starting to kind of bubble up around you? The one thing you always want to maintain is your integrity. And you use that pretty much as a battle shield and a moniker. And I just want you to talk a little bit about that. Yeah,
integrity is not an option, right? It's not, I could choose it in this. Well, for me, it's not I choose it in this moment and then I don't choose it in the next.
Sure.
It is a part of my being. I owe every moment, my fullest self, transparency, to do what's best, to do what is right. Not everything is black and white and has a clear, but there are things that are right and wrong. Right is right and wrong is wrong, regardless of who and what is involved. And so I've always remained balanced spiritually, but certainly like emotionally. My IQ might be high, but my EQ, my emotional intelligence is much higher. And emotional intelligence isn't nice. It's necessary. And so being able to be in control of myself, my emotions, how I feel, what I think, what I say, I might say it strongly, but I'm saying, what is honest, what is my truth. And what is the truth that is necessary to be spoken in the moment. And so when we think about integrity, it sits right beside courage. courage and right next to conviction. They all go together for me. And so clarity is in there as well. But certainly integrity means a lot. I sleep well at night. I walk in peace, knowing that my heart is pure, that I made the best decisions, whatever they might be, in whatever course of my journey that I've been in, based on what I had, what I knew, and probably what I could see. I have a pretty clear, forward vision, and I learned at a very young age, and I mean a very young age, to embrace being misunderstood. And
explain that.
It's twofold, probably three, but certainly twofold. Part of it is there are just certain people that are just committed to misunderstanding you. They don't want to understand. And that's just the reality, and that's okay. You don't engage in battle with that. And then there's being misunderstood because there's a message that I'm delivering, or there's some place that I've shown up maybe too soon, that wasn't ready, right? The place wasn't ready for me, but I was ready for the place. Or perhaps if we think about being misunderstood, I might articulate and deliver in a different way, right? I remember when I was a cheer coach, my principal called me in the office and said, when one of the cheer parents said, "Hey, she feels like you're talking down to her because you're using big words." And I thought, I need to go back to the table because that's not intentional. It's just me. I love reading. I'm just fond of education. This is not something I woke up and said, this is going to be fun to do. I really believe in the core of it. And so I embraced at a very young age of being misunderstood. It's also a part of where I grew up and went to school. When you're the only one in the room that looks like you, you got to figure out some things very quickly.
Yeah, you do.
And so I figured those things out very early.
The one thing about you that I recognized earlier from a long time ago, when you were in a position of power and leadership and influencing, other people, there was such a demonstration of love and affection and support for you. You touched a lot of people is what I'm trying to say. And based on what you were talking about and kind of how you live your life, I would imagine that has to be at some point or another, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, that you're touching people in a certain way, in a special way, in an emotional way, to where there's such a galvanization of, we really love her. That has to make you feel some kind of way. It's encouraging because, you've heard it said before that leadership is lonely. Yes. But leadership is lonely. Yeah. But you got to carry the loneliness and not compromise your courage and your conviction, right? And so when people can see you, because oftentimes we give more emphasis to the folks who are, giving and delivering the negative, cutting at the ankles, or shouting really loudly the things that aren't so nice, right? I've always given my thoughts, my attention to those who are not clapping for me, but those who are fighting for fair. They're trying to see through and see the real, right? They're fighting for understanding. They really want to understand what they don't understand, learn what they don't know. I wake up every day knowing there are a gazillion things I do not know. That's what keeps me moving, keeps me excited. As much as I know I don't know equally and even more, right? And so how quickly can I learn it? How deeply can I learn it? And who can I learn it from is how I'm thinking. And so when people are encouraging, they're embracing, that outpouring was overwhelming. I still am processing it, and you hear me get a little shaky right now, but I'm gonna be a thug today. I'm tight. I'm not crying today. Come on with it. That's right. Because that's not why I do the work. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You work for the cause and not for applause. That's me. I am not addicted to attention. My folks gave me that. They still give me that. I am filled with love and joy and happiness. And this is from two parents who don't have college degrees. They worked very hard, humble beginnings, but they love deeply and hard. And so I do the same. And so when I think about the love that has been shown to me, I know that more of that exists, not just in Memphis, but around the world. And if we tap into that, somebody asked what's missing today, like how do we get it together? Love and leadership. That's your
love
limit.
and leadership.
Love and leadership.
Right? Yeah. Because unconditional love is unwavering.
Right.
It's not conditional. It's not based on situations. It's not, did she do her hair the way that I wanted her to? Did she forget to speak to me when she got out of the car? It's not, do I agree with every decision that he made? It's not, did Chip say the right thing today? It is, I see his heart. I know that what he stands for is right, and I want to be connected to that. And so that's what people have done, and they know I have not gotten it right. I have not sold myself as someone who has been perfect either, because I know that I'm an imperfect being.
So this event, which I think I find very fascinating, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to be there. There's going to be a panel there, and there's going to be a lot of conversation about all of this, in particular leadership. What do you hope that after you do your thing on Wednesday evening at the University of Memphis, what do you hope people take away? What is the biggest message that you want to portray to individuals who are there and individuals who may be watching or hearing about it later? What is the message you want people to take away from after that evening?
So take a seat is twofold. One, it is take a seat, right? Come on in, sit down.
Sit down.
Let me tell you, some hard things.
Yeah.
Some things you didn't know. Some things you might have thought that you knew, but let me give you some hard truths about the seat and what comes along with it from this lens, right?
Right.
And so you see 4 other people moderated by White Station High School senior London Haynes, who will speak from their lens, all different, but certainly the seat itself has something with it.
Sure.
And we have to do right by it, regardless of what it is, regardless of how seen it is in terms of the spotlight. All of us are responsible. That seat you are sitting in right now is powerful. The media is powerful. You are shaping narratives every time you say hello or however you open this and close this show and everything in between. So it matters not, where you are. It's what you're doing in the seat. So take a seat and let's have a conversation about these hard truths. And then you still have to go out and take a seat.
Right.
2025 and beyond, we're taking seats. So if you're thinking about, or if you need to be thinking about running for office, an elected official, if you've been pausing and you have not taken, the next step in whatever your corporation or organization is, you've been pausing and holding back, right? Shrinking and not going after that promotion. It's time for you to take a seat. There are seats that are available for us, specifically women and folks who represent underrepresented populations, but certainly there are seats that need to be taken by folks who are ready and willing to go and be courageous,
right.
To lead with conviction, to say and do the tough things, to be uncomfortable. And so it is get the information, hear all the unpolished stuff. Folks don't tell you the real stuff about leadership. It's normally, you can do it.
Yeah.
And we need more like you, but not, hey, once you get there, somebody's coming for your ankles already.
Right.
Hey, you got to choose the people that you lose, or leadership and life will choose them for you.
Right.
It is, hey, learn the politics, but don't become political. It is, it's all the things that there's no manual for that.
Yeah.
And so that's what take a seat. I hope that when people leave, that they both feel like, okay, I know a little bit more about the heat of the seat, but I still know that my responsibility is go take a seat.
Well, I got to tell you, this has been an extraordinarily wonderful conversation for me. I know that people will be blessed when they come to this event. I heard it was sold out already, or no seats left in the room. And again, it is Wednesday evening, and it is at 6 p.m. at the University of Memphis. There's a place called The Zone, FedEx Institute of Technology at the University of Memphis. Seating is limited. It starts at 6. The seats the theater opens at 5 o'clock, and it's a conversation with Dr. Marie N. Feagins and journalist Brooke Baldwin and a lot of other interesting folks there as well. Thank you for taking some time to come visit with us tonight here at Real Talk Memphis. It's been a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed it.
My privilege. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely that. Let us take a break. People are waving at her. They're walking by the glass window and everything. Yeah, she's big time, man. Let's take a break. Yes, you are. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll prepare for our next guest. This is Real Talk Memphis. I'm Chip. We'll take a quick break. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like real talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from the University of Memphis, presenting the Spring Spanish Cultural Series at the Memphis Brooks Museum of Art. The series will offer Memphians the opportunity to hear an intimate atmosphere with acoustic concerts by Spanish-speaking singer-songwriters of different styles and generations. Coming Sunday, May 11th, is Pedro Luis Ferrer and his daughter Lena Ferrer. During his long career dating back from the early 70s, his songs have been recorded by such artists as Celia Cruz and Omar Portuondo of the Buena Vista Social Club. All concerts will take place at 2:30 p.m. Tickets and more information can be found at SpanishCulturalSeries.com.
Want to make a big impact without getting lost in a big system? Join Youth Villages to be a force for families while becoming part of one. Help make positive changes on a national scale, one community at a time. It takes a family to transform lives. Start with yours. You can apply at youthvillages.org/careers.
Programming for WYXR is brought to you by a grant from the Hyde Family Foundation, who is committed to creating a better future for the city of Memphis by supporting initiatives that enrich our city's cultural landscape.
Did you know when you purchase a specialty arts license plate, you're supporting the Tennessee Arts Commission and organizations like WYXR? It's easy. Just take your old plate to your county clerk and swap it out, or choose the arts plate when it's time for renewal. Show your love for WYXR and other Tennessee arts organizations by visiting tnspecialtyplates.org.
Support for WYXR comes from the Metal Museum. On the last Thursday of each month, May through September, the museum hosts their free after-hours event, Wet Thursdays, featuring metalsmithing demonstrations, exhibitions, food and drink trucks, and music from local bands and DJs. More information can be found at metalmuseum.org. Support for WYXR comes from Crosstown Brewing. The kitchen and full bar are now open and serving brunch on Saturdays and Sundays, including mimosas and Bloody Marys. Brunch hours are Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. More information can be found at crosstownbeer.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Live Nation, presenting Lake Street Dive with special guest The Dip live at Orpheum Theater on Tuesday, September 16th. Tickets and more information at Ticketmaster.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Mempho Presents, featuring the Outlaw Tour 10th anniversary show at Radiance Amphitheater on Friday, June 27th, featuring Willie Nelson and Family, Bob Dylan, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and Trampled by Turtles. Tickets and more information at memphopresents.com.
I'm Patrick Tamburino, host of the Techno Strategist podcast. Join me as we navigate the ever-evolving world of IT managed services and beyond. We'll explore everything from selecting the ideal tech partner to the forefront of cutting-edge technologies, all infused with my own unique perspective and hopefully a touch of humor. Don't forget to tune in to the Techno Strategist on the WYXR Podcast Network. For more information, head over to wyxr.org.
Want to make a big impact without getting lost in a big system? Join Youth Villages to be a force for families while becoming part of one. Help make positive changes on a national scale, one community at a time. It takes a family to transform lives. Start with yours. You can apply at youthvillages.org/careers.
Support from WYXR comes from Sunset Jazz at Court Square, a free, family-friendly concert series presented by Just Jazzin', downtown Memphis and City of Memphis. Held every second Sunday from May through October, this annual event brings the smooth sounds of Memphis jazz to the heart of downtown at 62 North Main Street. Each show spotlights local talent in a wide range of styles, from straight ahead to swing. More information can be found at sunsetjazzmemphis.com.
You're listening, but are you in the know? The WYXR weekly newsletter is the best source for keeping up with events at WYXR, whether they are happening on our airwaves, behind the scenes, or out in the community. Log on to newsletter.wyxr.org to sign up for our mailing list and keep yourself in the loop.
Memphis Listening Lab proudly supports WYXR. They provide a curated collection of music and music history, a forum for music-related talks and performances, and a music education, appreciation, and experimentation space located in Crosstown Concourse. You can find out more information on their Instagram page at Memphis Listening Lab or on their website at memphislisteninglab.org.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you. And, of course, I hope that you had a chance to listen to our last interview with Dr. Marie Feagins. Of course, we all know her. We hadn't seen her, hadn't heard much from her since late last year. But obviously, she's doing great. She came to talk a little bit about taking a seat and what happens when you're thrust into a position of authority, of influence to a lot of other people, and the pressures that go along with that. It was an amazing interview, and I hope that if you didn't get a chance to see it live, you'll either check out my Facebook page later or you'll check out the podcast later on this week. We're trying right now. Something happened with our Zoom, unfortunately, and if you're on Facebook Live, you see something that says waiting for live video signal. The broadcast is waiting for a signal. Should be resuming shortly. Michelle McKissack, school board member Michelle McKissack, is in the bullpen, and she's waiting for. I know she's waiting for us, wondering exactly where we went and what happened with all of this. Okay, I see. Okay, something happened there because I saw everybody on Facebook Live for a second there. I just saw something. Lola's working it out. And hopefully we should be getting something here in a second, because I did see it says the live video has ended. So maybe we need to get back in and do what we need to do here. So we're kind of stalling around just a little bit. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before we can resume things and get back on track here. You know, every now and again, the gremlins jump into the system and cause us, a bit of a heartache and headache. She said, need me to call in? I guess, man, I hate doing that because we can't see her. We can't. But yeah, I guess so. Michelle, if you're there, she can call my cell? I mean, how do we do this? I don't even know. Okay. Plug it in with the headphones, or plug it in how? Just plug it with the headphone cord here, or what? All right, let's plug it in. She can call me on my cell, Michelle. I think you know what it is. If you can hear me, I hate this. And we're gonna continue to try to get this thing fixed. And between now and the time the show is over, because I really want to be able to get the full dynamic in all of this. So while she calls me, and we can. Because last time this happened, they couldn't hear me at all, and they could hear the guests, but I don't think they could hear me when we were doing this thing. So let me do this. Brent's got a cord here, and we're going to try to stretch it out. And meanwhile, you guys put your heads together and see if we can't pull this thing off. I don't need to unplug this camera and plug it in again, do I, Lola? She's over there. She's over on the board working there. Oh, that's got nothing to do with it? Okay. All right. So hopefully she's going to see. Man, I can't see anything here. Hopefully, I see myself. Now I see myself. Okay, now it says waiting for live signal again, because I saw myself for a second there. Hopefully Michelle got my text, and that she will be calling me in a second here, because I did let her know that we're having some issues. Brian, let's take another quick break. Let's go to break, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to come back, and hopefully we can get all of this done and all of this in before we get out here at 7 o'clock. This is Real Talk Memphis. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Support for WYXR comes from Memphis Presents, featuring the Outlaw Tour 10th anniversary show at Radiance Amphitheater on Friday, June 27th, featuring Willie Nelson and Family, Bob Dylan, Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats, and Trample by Turtles. Tickets and more information at memphopresents.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Rootstock Wine Merchants. Located at 644 Madison in the Edge District, Rootstock is committed to bringing Memphis wines from small, independent producers with minimal intervention. More information on Rootstock's full selection of wine, beer, and spirits and online ordering available at rootstockmemphis.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on Monday evening in the city. It's Chip with you, and of course we're having a little bit of a technical issue right now, but we're still able to move forward. We have our next guest on the phone. She is a member of the Memphis and Shelby County School Board. She is Michelle McKissack, and she joins me now by phone. Michelle, thank you for being patient, and thank you for coming on the show tonight. How you doing?
Hi, Chip. Thanks for having me on. A pleasure to be here.
Listen, pleasure to have you as always. And I'm sure you probably, I don't know if you heard our first guest this evening, someone you're more than familiar with.
I did. It was a great interview.
Yeah, thank you. She's pretty dynamic. So listen, I wanted to talk with you about kind of what's been happening lately. We've kind of been in this topsy-turvy world. Of course, in the legislature, we know what they've been trying to do. We know what the plan is to try to initiate some type of takeover, although they don't want to call it that, but that's exactly what it is. From my perspective, the House had a bill, the Senate had a bill. They both passed through their separate committees. And then we get to the place where there were too many differences, I guess, between both bills to be able to come to some sort of a compromise, which means that now it's on pause, so to speak. So I wanted to kind of get your impressions of kind of what happened with all of this. I know you all have been kind of going up and down. Huh? Okay, don't have to pick it up. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Lola's giving me all these tech instructions here. But in reference to what happened and kind of how you've been watching all of this and kind of your assessment on where things stand today.
Well, it was a lot. A whole lot's been going on since, officially since last December, and with the termination of our previous superintendent, and which I believe contributed toward the state deciding to. I think you've got me.
Hey, I do have you. Look at that. How about that? Okay, what I'm going to do? Can I hang up the phone now? Can I hang up the phone? Okay, Michelle.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Excellent. There we go. Look at
that.
Crack team, man. Crack team. Brent and Lola. No doubt about it. No doubt.
Way to go.
But anyway, go ahead. Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that a lot has happened. And as far as what's going on recently, everything's happened so quickly. So it's actually not surprising to me that the state legislature, in terms of in the House and the Senate, that they couldn't come together at the last minute to reconcile both of their varying bills, because all of this has happened so quickly. And that's what I've been saying since the very beginning to my board colleagues. Let's slow this all down a little bit. Let's try to work through all of this. And it didn't happen on our end in terms of retaining our previous superintendent, Dr. Feagins. And so now with the state legislature, by one reason or another, it did not pass through this go round. And hopefully we can slow things down a little bit now and have productive conversations that are most beneficial for children on how we're going to move forward with MSCS.
Yeah, and exactly. We get to like this point of like almost no return here. And then all of a sudden we find out that it has to go through a committee so they can sort of take one from one bill and one from the other and kind of compromise and get all this together and everything else. And it has become very confusing. And I would imagine for you all as a board, just frustrating because you still have a job to do and school is still in and you still have to work with the superintendent, the interim superintendent, to sort of chart a course for the next year. So I would imagine this has been a bit of a challenge, an uphill challenge, I guess, right?
Well, I mean, it's been frustrating for me long before the state decided to say we're going to take over the district. I'm just going to be having real talk here.
Right.
That I've been extraordinarily frustrated that we're even at this point. We weren't on the radar as far as the state taking over or intervening until the school board or members of the school board decided that they wanted to part ways with the superintendent who had only been in that position a few months.
Right.
And so I've been frustrated for a long time, along with the greater amount of the community. I literally cannot go anywhere where people are still pulling me to the side and saying, thank you for being our voice, because they're frustrated too that we didn't give our previous superintendent a chance to really show what she was about and what she could possibly do for this school district.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are still feeling that, as you just mentioned. I mean, I think that's still top of mind for so many folks. And the level of, and I think that one of the things that frustrated me about this whole process was that the people are the ones who elect the individuals that they want to represent them in whatever and wherever. And they did that in this case. When the will of the people clearly spoke, overwhelmingly spoke in reference to the direction, the course of direction, certain people decided, well, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to accept the will of the people. So I think that there's an anger still. I think there's a trust issue that goes along with this still. And you're right. You are one of the voices that people still recognize as someone who was actually fighting for the community and what the community wanted in terms of moving forward in all of this.
Right, exactly. And I think that's always important as elected officials. But, as you said a moment ago, here we are now. How do we move forward? How do we continue to do our job? And that's what I'm focused on, because first and foremost, I am answering to the children of this district. That is what I've been focused on since day one, since before day one of getting on the school board. That's why I ran for school board in the first place,
right,
because I care about the children and I care about our greater community. That's what I'm always focused on. Children are at the nucleus of it all, but I'm concerned about the city of Memphis, the county of Shelby, all of it, because that's what makes us whole and how do we move better forward as a community. So that's what I've done. I mean, I'm kind of just, licking my wounds and saying, let me just move forward and still focus on children.
One of the things that has come up into conversation is the legislative body passed something that would create an option for the county commission, the local county commissions, to change the election cycle of the school board. Now, that's been some conversation too that they may or may not have in reference to this. So so everybody's on the same election cycle. Next year, 2026 is the big election cycle here in Memphis and Shelby County and elsewhere. And maybe to move the school board underneath that umbrella, which would mean that half the school board or several members that were elected last year would have reduced terms and might have to run again. What do you think about all of that?
Well, the seat that I represent in District 1 was already a part of the county commission and being aligned with that election cycle. So I think it has some benefit because it's a much larger turnout.
Right.
We really do have people paying attention, even though you have to yell, hey, be sure to vote for school boards at the bottom of the ballot. But it's just something where now even more so people really are paying attention to the school board and how vital it is that you have someone in those seats that you believe will represent you. So that's not something that I certainly have any purview over. But it's something that should be considered for a greater turnout.
Yeah, and I think too. Yeah, I think that's a very, very important point you just made. And also, I think there might be a component. I'm not sure if there is or isn't in reference to maybe even a recall, which a lot of people were screaming about, as well. So honestly, this could actually change if they decide, the county commission decides to move forward with this. This could change the way things are done. And, once again, if there is an election next year of the school board, there may be more people who are interested in this that may want to throw their hat in the ring. And you're right, there may be more people actually interested enough to go to the polls to actually vote for somebody who they feel can represent their children in the best way possible. So it's interesting, what you said about all of this. Now, let me just ask you one final question. In reference to the county commission, I know that, when they decided initially to issue a lack of confidence vote, that sort of got all this Nashville stuff swinging, so to speak, and everything else. And I know that it wasn't too receptive from you all as board members. Did you feel that way in reference to the fact that the county commission really did not have a place in all of this conversation when it was really percolating at the particular time we're talking about?
No, I didn't believe that at all. I think if anything, not only the county commission, I think anyone, whether it's even the mayor of the city of Memphis, which that's not our funding body, but I think as our funding body, we all have to be concerned when something is going awry. Everybody should be speaking up, and that's what happened this go round. The community spoke up, and I honestly, I think the county commission is absolutely within its rights to have a say in all of this. I mean, they are a funding body for this school district. So, yes, to answer your question simply, yes, I think it's within their rights.
I think the reason I asked that question because I've heard from some of your other board members, and there was a level of distrust. They didn't trust the county commission in terms of that, and some may have gotten their feelings hurt because and you're right, because they are a funding partner of yours, and I never quite understood why there was an issue, because they do help to fund, so they would have some sort of a say in this one way or another. But I will say this in reference to this proposed takeover, this board of managers, these people who were appointed the whole 9 yards, and all of this. They plan on bringing this up in January, from what I'm to understand. But before that, there is this audit. I have heard you say, and there's never really been an issue financially in reference to the school board, but there's going to be this big audit that the state is going to fund, some $6 million audit. How do you feel about all of that?
$6 million.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
I wish that that money would be directed toward other programs that could be beneficial to children here. As you well know, it's been a lot of tragedy that's been in the news of late, young people.
Yes.
And so putting that toward programs to help divert the interests of children so they have something positive to be focused upon. That's what I would like to see. I don't believe the state taking over the district is the solution. We had that in one iteration through the ASD, the Achievement School District, and 10 years later, those schools are now being turned back over to Memphis Shelby County Schools. It's just best when things are run and operated locally, where there is a connection. And I'm hopeful that if they see some sort of engagement by the county commission with this school board, because obviously there needs to be some work to be done to help right this ship, that they will see that a state intervention or takeover is not the solution. It is not the solution at all. So I'm absolutely not for that. But I'm open to saying, how can we make this school district better and run better? And that is one that is more responsive to the people of Memphis and Shelby County.
Well, listen, first of all, again, apologies for the technical issues, but I'm glad we got them worked out. I'm glad that we got you on, because I think you have a very important voice in all of this, because through all of this, you have been really the voice of reason in a world of chaos in reference to how the board functions moving forward. But we'll now, like everybody else, we'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens with all of this, what happens with this audit, what happens when the legislature meets next year, and what the county commission does. So there's a lot of moving parts in all of this.
A lot.
It seems like kind of head spinning. But Michelle McKissack, Memphis and Shelby County School Board member, and the one they call the voice of reason. I really appreciate you as always, my friend, for taking some time to come on and talk with our audience about some of the real issues. And all I can say is keep up the amazing work that you do on a daily basis. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Chip, for having me on.
Absolutely that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Michelle McKissack. And, of course, I wanted to have her on, especially tonight, in reference to what has happened here recently with this whole takeover situation. And I'm going to apologize now to Torrey Harris. I can't get him on tonight because we've had the technical issues, but I'm going to reach out to him, and we're going to get him on next week. I promise you that we'll have him. He's a member of the state representative representing here in Memphis and Shelby County. And I wanted to ask him a few questions in reference to the session just ended and some other things as well. But this has really been a great program. And before we leave here, and I leave you in the capable hands of Bryn Butler, who hosts Event Horizon, which comes on right after this broadcast tonight. I want to talk a little bit about the violence that we've seen in our cities and our communities. We've had 30 people die in Memphis and Shelby County in 30 days. And a lot of those deaths have been at the hands of and victims of young people under the age of 18. The shooting that happened outside of Booker T. Washington High School a couple of weeks ago, an 18-year-old is one of the individuals responsible for the killing of two students who we still don't know who they are from the ID perspective or how old they were, but they were students at Booker T. Washington High School. We have seen over and over and over again, the violence has just gotten out of control. And if nobody else says it, I'll say it. And the bottom line to it is it affects each and every one of us out here. And we all have to pay attention to what is happening. And we all need to be outraged. More importantly, we all need to stick our toe in the water and say, you know what, I'm going to do whatever I can to try to help to make sure that my kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm going to do whatever I can. If I see somebody doing something wrong, I'm going to tell it. You know what, a lot of times, we have to see it and then we have to say it. We can't just see it and then go back in the house and watch TV. We have to be able to hold people responsible for some of the tragedies that we are seeing each and every day, or we're not going to have a future, and we're not going to have a future generation in our city. And the bottom line to it is that we all know we have a problem, but the question is, what are we going to do about the problem that we have? Okay, and I'm going to continue to talk about it, and I'm going to continue to push myself forward in it, and I'm going to do everything I can to try to help to solve the problem, not be part of the problem. And as Bryn plays this out, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for being a part of the broadcast tonight. I really appreciate you, as always. If you like what we do here at Real Talk Memphis, tell other folks about it as well, because we're here every Monday evening from 6 to 7 p.m. Thanks to Dr. Marie Feagins. Thank you to Michelle McKissack. I promise I will get State Representative Torrey Harris on the show again next week. But sometimes things happen. But I really appreciate you. God bless you. Please be safe. Please be careful. As they say, keep your head on a swivel. Watch out for yourself and watch out for other folks, okay? So for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, for Bryn, for lovely Lola, come on back, Lola. There you go. Do your thing. There she is. And for yours truly, Chip, be safe, be careful. God love you. We'll see you soon. We are out. Take care.